Hello everyone, my name is Northern Nate, and welcome back to another episode. And for today's episode, I wanted to talk about beating games that you normally couldn't beat as a child. For me, I was growing up with the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the early 90s, and then moved to the Super Nintendo and the 64. And one of the very first series I got to play was the Donkey Kong Country series, and I fell in love with platformers. So my parents got me for my birthday another platformer, which isn't as good as Donkey Kong Country, but I still have a personal connection with it because it's one of my games as a child. And that game is Incantation. Now, Incantation is a side-scroller kind of platformer game in which you play a little wizard kid, and you basically travel through 12 different stages, and you have to try to collect different power-ups and different interesting pieces of wheat in order to pass the final gate that's at the end to fight the boss. Now, there's power-ups like fireballs. There's things like volcanic rock that you kind of shoot and it kind of lobs down, and there's like this crappy kind of pea shooter thing that you get right at the start. But it's great because each level, or each different world, so there's about 5 different worlds, but there's 3 levels to each world. You got things like the underworld, you got like a swamp world, like a meadow field world, and each level has 3 different pieces of wheat where you have to collect them and return them to the gate in order to fight the bosses. The graphics in the game look really well for the time. I enjoy the backgrounds. The backgrounds look great. As the character moves along this screen, the background itself kind of changes as well. Like things like the underground world, there's kind of like waves that go in the background, kind of make it look all demented and stuff. However, there are some downfalls to the game. A lot of the jumping mechanisms are a bit of a challenge just to try to time your jumps right. I find myself falling off, especially near the end, near about chapter 9 and 10, where you have to run and jump at the same time, and it's just kind of difficult and tricky to get your character to stay on the platform without sliding off. As well as, there is boss battles every stage. However, the boss battles are pretty generic. So it's basically just shoot the boss, jump over him, or run under him. Constantly keep doing that, and some of the bosses take quite a long time. It's like 3 to 5 minutes or more just to beat the boss doing the exact same thing. It doesn't change his moves or anything. So I just figured I can come to talk to you about it, just because I could never beat this game as a child, just because some of the boss battles were just too difficultly repetitive, and I just didn't have the patience in order to beat the boss or to stick it through. But now, I actually recently started playing this again, and actually got to see the final end credit thing, which is basically just a congratulations screen. It's kind of anticlimactic, but in a sense, it took me back to when I first got the game, and kind of just sitting there on the weekends as a kid playing it and trying to get as far as I can within it. And it brought me back to my childhood, which was pretty cool. So anyways, guys, that's my little kind of review / childhood experience beating one of my games that I got as a kid. Let me know if you played this as well. I know it's pretty rare now and expensive, but if you enjoy platformers and that kind of game style, like Donkey Kong Country, then definitely check it out. Maybe you can emulate it or something. If you can find it cheap, do it. But yeah, let me know what games you've beaten as an adult that you had as a child. That'd be a cool conversation to have down in the comments below. So until next time, everyone, see you later.